Hello, this is Konrad, Yerba Addict here, and in today's video, I'm gonna run you through becoming a copywriter as a non-native speaker. What you should know, what if it's possible at all, or is it not possible? What are you fighting an uphill battle? Are you able to become a copywriter exclusively when you are a native speaker, or you don't have to be? And just my experience with basically myself being a copywriter, and I would say I'm pretty damn solid. I'm not amazing, I'm not the top dog, but I'm like intermediate level, and I'm a non-native. I'm Polish, and also talking to copywriters, interviewing them, trying to hire them, working with them. I have quite a bit of thoughts on this subject. So I would say the number one thing you gotta, if you are thinking on going towards becoming a freelance copywriter, or in general, like pursuing a copywriting career as a non-native speaker, is that you have to look yourself in a mirror and honestly assess where you are. What I mean by where you are, I mean like where are you on your English journey? Because before you dive into the copywriting aspect, you really need to understand what it takes on an English speaking level, if we are talking about copywriting in English, what it takes to actually write great copy. So a really sentence that kind of I put together, and I feel like encapsulates what I'm trying to say. If you are a native speaker and you want to become a copywriter, like, just because you are a native speaker does not mean you will be a great copywriter, because you might not be great at grammar, you just might not have a talent for it, you might not possess enough vocabulary, or you might be from a different culture, like maybe from some, like say India, and the culture and phrases and everything is totally different than what's in the US or UK. So it does not guarantee your success as copywriter. But however, if you are a non-native speaker and you don't have English on a really high proficient level, and I'm not necessarily talking about accent because that doesn't matter, but like understanding, fluency, being able to understanding the culture, the Western culture, like especially US and UK, understanding like the certain phrases and how are people like using language in a certain ways, how to structure sentences to be more interesting, the difference between certain tenses and passive and active voice. If you don't have that, then the chances that you will fail are around 100%, in my opinion. So basically, being a native speaker does not guarantee you success, but being non-native speaker and not knowing English guarantees that you will for sure fail, in my opinion, to reach anything more than knowing jack shit about copywriting. So this is important to remember, because if you are in the moment where you think your English is okay, and you really want to be a writer, and your advertising or like salesmanship really interests you, then you just have to understand that it's possible, but it's going to be an uphill battle for you, because you will have to both learn English and copywriting at the same time, and also try to understand the cultures. It means like watching movies, watching TV shows, reading articles, reading books. Try to understand how they phrase certain things and how the culture looks like there, so then you can use that in your writing. So just you have to understand that it's gonna be an uphill battle. It's not impossible, and I would say that if you can overcome the obstacle, then on the other side is greatness, because like no one can take away from you that you took this hard road of becoming a writer in English if you are non-native speaker. I mean, it's quite damn rare, and if you can achieve it, I would say that's pretty impressive. Like, you can be quite confident of yourself, and it's quite an accomplishment to achieve So these are kind of my thoughts. As I said, I myself am not a native speaker. I'm from Poland, and I've just started, learning copywriting more than a year ago, and I would say I got to a certain pretty damn solid level right now. It took me around a year, but as far as English goes, I've been practicing it for like 17 years. Obviously, at the beginning, it was just like, English teachers, but then it was, traveling, speaking in it, doing some courses, started watching movies in English with first it was like Polish subtitles, then English subtitles. Then I started, reading books, then listening to audiobooks, then, reading articles, then doing business and sales and then eventually, finally, I went into copywriting, and I didn't know. So just understand that you will not for sure know if your English is good enough. But I would say if you are really honest with yourself, you will be able to tell if you have a fighting chance and how big of an obstacle you are facing. Because for me, I was quite damn sure of my English. I didn't know if it's good enough for writing because I already forgot a lot. But I was pretty damn sure that my English is pretty solid, and I can think in English. I can actually, when I'm thinking, the first thing that comes to mind is an English word or English phrase. So I knew I had that, so I wasn't afraid to at least try it and go for it. But I think you can save yourself a lot of disappointment and maybe frustration is the right word if you are just first honest with yourself and just understand the fact that there's a lot of native speakers who think just because they're native speakers they can write, but it's not true at all. And even if you can write, copywriting is another dimension because it requires salesmanship, empathy, in addition to just the writing skills of purely putting together sentences with words. And actually having, a super impressive vocabulary is not necessary because now you have tools you can use like thesaurus.com. So it doesn't, I don't think you have to be, Oxford level English and, just master all the tenses and whatnot, because, copywriting is kind of actually using the basic language. But you have to be able to understand the culture. You have to be able to think in English so that you don't write in your language but written in English, so you don't formulate the sentences just as like a Google Translate, and that's super key. So I hope this was valuable. This was just like some thoughts for me on this topic, as I am, as I said, non-native copywriter who became a copywriter. And I know there's quite a lot of people who are probably wondering, or they are starting doing it, and they are from Europe or Asia or somewhere else, and they don't have English as their native language, and they are wondering if they can get into it. So I thought I would just kind of give you some of my thoughts, some of my ideas, and some of my experiences, and that will hopefully help you on your journey to becoming a great copywriter. So thanks a lot. If you like this kind of videos, please support this channel by subscribing and liking the video. And if you have some thoughts on this subject, if maybe you are wondering if it makes sense for you to copyright in your own language and maybe sell it there, please also comment. I will be eager to come back to you with some of my thoughts on your questions or your whatever is your opinion on this matter. And yeah, until next time, my friend.